Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. Wait, the Raiders still can make the fucking playoffs? Perna. Nothing like letting you guys write my intros for me. Anyway, I hope all of you enjoy the holidays and watch this video on your phone alone in the bathroom while you hide from crazy Uncle Antonio. Or drunk cousin Eli. Or worst of all, that pedo they call Santa Claus, as he goes on and on and on about naughty kids and the only way to fix them is to sit on his lap. Today, though, we will recap the Broncos' 6th win of the season, guaranteeing they will not finish last in the AFC West. Marshawn Lynch's return to the Seahawks, yes, that's a real possibility. Chiefs, Bears, and the hilarious fall of the Cowboys. That's good sports. Oh, that's not the subscribe button, that's my wife's head. But please, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do have big dick Patreon shoutouts for Noah, Mitchell, Matt, Meese, and
Antonio Lopez,
Max, and
Kristen Jones.
Kristen Jones. Your horsecock lock sweatshirts are available in the That's Good Sports store. We got an orange one, a blue one. There are t-shirts if you want to get them. They are hot right now. I like the blue one better, Just likes the orange one better.
Neon orange, very in.
But these are what they look like.
And super soft and super cozy.
That's how you sell merch. Again, here's the playoff picture, which could change none to slightly to drastically in the NFC, depending on the Packers-Vikings game tonight. A correction from yesterday. I made a mistake, okay? In my mad fury to recap every single game that occurs within 24 hours, I missed the fact that the Titans in a loss, jumped the Steelers in a loss, are now a wild card team in the AFC and may remain in the playoffs with the Steelers' loss or a win against the Texans. If Miami beats the Patriots, the Chiefs could get the number 2 seed with a win. The Steelers need a miracle to get into the playoffs, which they already used up in Pittsburgh by keeping Big Ben out of jail. So I don't see that happening. Broncos defeat the Lions. I would like to congratulate the Lions on flying under the radar as the team with the current longest losing streak in the NFL. 8 straight L's for Detroit, as they now have the 3rd overall draft pick and absolutely no certainty who their head coach, owner, or quarterback will be in 2020. Sure, Matthew Stafford is on the books for $31.5 million next season, but would anyone be surprised if he became the 3rd great Lion to retire prematurely? Matt Patricia is 9-21-1 as a head coach and would require a win Sunday and a perfect season in 2020 to break a 500 overall record in Detroit, but I'd imagine even Jeff Bezos could sympathize with the coach down to his 3rd string QB. Now, Drew Lock was efficient against the Lions, 192 passing yards, 1 touchdown, got the win, was sacked 0 times, and finished his first game without throwing an interception. And you know what we call that? A lock you can't pick. Now, my friend Ryan Green captured the enthusiasm Drew Lock brings prior to the game as Lock danced, and I can tell you without a doubt he was not hearing Antonio Brown's mixtape tracks in his head. Like the real flu, Lock fever is spreading across Colorado rapidly. So fast that even the cheapest of Broncos fans are makeshifting Trevor Siemian jerseys into Drew Lock duct tape masterpieces. Now, this hate-filled Matt Prater revenge game started pretty poorly for the Broncos, going down 10-0 in the second quarter after a Matt Prater field goal and a 63-yard Jamal Agnew punt return for a touchdown. It didn't really feel like the Broncos got a chance to be on offense, mostly because their drives were getting killed by either a Devontae Booker drop or 2 holding penalties. Regardless, the Broncos defense was still getting pressure and holding up in the red zone. Von Miller was disrupting seemingly every David Blau drop back, and Malik Reed picked up an early sack while Draymond Jones got 2 of his own in a great day for the Broncos rookies. Thank you for making us believe in 2020, rooks. Horsecock Lock and the Broncos offense were able to gallop into rhythm in the second quarter with Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton, and Tim Patrick, who might have been able to score a touchdown if he could just turn. No matter, Royce Freeman carries it into the end zone to get Denver on the board again. One area the Broncos improved in this game, I thought, was situational football, by controlling the ball long enough to end the first half before receiving to start the second half. They only got field goals in each drive, but it was a good indication that the Broncos understand situational football, unlike, or this football who found himself in a bad situation he didn't understand. The Lions struck back with the short touchdown pass to Kenny Golladay to take the lead, but the Broncos offense didn't throw in the towel just yet. And that wasn't just because the Broncos were out of towels due to all of the puke and diarrhea they had to keep cleaning up since half the team had the flu. One of the most pleasant surprises that came out of this game was the emergence of Deshaun Hamilton. Just 17 catches for 167 yards and no touchdowns coming into the game, but with Drew Lock throwing him the ball yesterday, he was the Broncos' leading receiver, racking up 6 receptions for 65 yards and a touchdown on this option shovel that gave Denver the lead with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Broncos ran multiple option plays, and they all worked, proving Rich Scangarello isn't a complete idiot when his creativity is put on display by true artistes. Reserve fullbacks and guys with horsecocks. That touchdown drive was set up by a gutsy call to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 49. Locke handed the ball off to Andrew Beck, who then pitched it to Philip Lindsay for the first down. A great example of a no, yes play. And by the way, that was the Broncos' first fourth quarter touchdown in their last 11 games. And they even scored another. Denver secured the win with the 27-yard touchdown rush from Philip Lindsay, maybe the best of his season, who had 109 yards rushing and is just 42 yards away from back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons. So, the Big Dick Player Award is going to the surprise stars of this game, Deshaun Hamilton and Draymond Jones. It goes to all of the Dre's, including Dr. Dre, Drea D'Amato, and my favorite character from the league, Andre, the Dre.
You take the whole load all at once?
That's right, I take the load, hold it inside me, and I don't let it out.
By the way, Paul Scheer, can you put me in touch with Jeff Schaefer to develop my show, please? Developer of the league. I think he could turn this show into a real hit. That's why you're getting the Big Dick Player Award. It is a bribe. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the shittiness of the officials in this game. Fortunately, they picked on the correct team to fuck over, the Detroit Lions, a team that's historically been blessed by the referees. They got 2 really bad calls in the second half. The first was an unnecessary roughness when Josh Watson clearly pushed Steve Longa into Deontay Spencer on the sideline. And a second one with under 2 minutes left when they called this pass to Kenny Golladay incomplete on 4th down, which led to the Broncos taking a knee and protesting the victory. Raiders beat the Chargers 24-17. Well, it turns out everyone was wrong when they said last week was the Raiders' last home game, because if you switch out your primary color to powder blue, it becomes even more obvious that no one in the stadium is rooting for the home team.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough. I mean, I think, again, that didn't have anything to do with the outcome of the game. But being someone that remembers what it used to be like in home games, it's pretty bad, So, again, appreciate the Charger fans that are out there. But it is disheartening, to say the least.
Hunter Renfrow got things started with the 56-yard touchdown in the first quarter, and Derek Carr added a running touchdown in which he actually managed to not fumble the ball out of the back of the end zone. Derek Carr and Hunter Renfrow are faster than the Chargers' defense. The Chargers now own sole possession of last place in the AFC West, and the Raiders are still alive for a playoff spot. All they need is a Titans loss, a Colts win, and a Steelers loss, and a win of their own against the Broncos. Well, Oakland, you better dig up Al Davis's grave and get that skeleton key, because even if all of those things happen, when you get to Denver, those doors are gonna be horsecock locked. The Cardinals surprisingly beat the Seahawks. This game really didn't matter for Seattle because regardless of what happened, they would be playing the 49ers for the NFC West next week. And they played like it didn't matter. Kenyon Drake, who had 4 touchdowns last week against the Browns, ripped off an 80-yard touchdown in this game, part of his 166 yards and 2 scores, while Chandler Jones had 4 sacks on the other side of the ball. Good Lord in heaven, I am so glad he is not a Patriot. 20 sacks this season for Jones. Kyler Murray left the game with a hamstring injury, while Russell Wilson couldn't do much of anything in what I assume was the shortest quarterback duel of all time. Seattle lost more than the game though, as literally all of their running backs in 2019 are now on IR. All of them. Chris Carson suffered a season-ending hip injury, and CJ Prosise broke his arm, and left tackle Dwayne Brown is having knee surgery. This is all terrible news for a team that predicates its success on running the ball. Their current running back is named after a Simpsons character, and this is just really unfortunate timing for the Seahawks, but there is a silver lining, as Marshawn Lynch is meeting with the Seahawks to discuss helping them for their postseason run.
Beast mode could actually be back in Seattle, in the building, in a uniform by the end of today. He is actually on his way to the facility right now. He's
Literally the only thing that could make me want to see some Seattle postseason wins is Marshawn Lynch being the catalyst behind them.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there? Run through a motherfucking face.
Cowboys lose to the Eagles. Now, DeMarcus Lawrence had no words for a picture he posted of himself on Twitter. But I have a few words for the Cowboys crashing and burning during the season it should have been the easiest in their history to make. A truly ugly battle between two teams that have no fucking business setting foot anywhere near the playoffs. The Cowboys still have the #1 offense in the NFL by yardage, and yet they only managed to put up 9 points in the most important game of their season. A remarkable achievement. Carson Wentz just somehow kept making things work out with no-name skill position players. Except, of course, for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That's technically 4 names. Dallas Goedert had 91 yards and a touchdown, and Dak Prescott's last shot to the end zone was broken up by Sidney Jones. Yes, the Eagles' secondary, too much for Dak to figure out as the Cowboys dropped to 7-8. But there is some good news for Philly fans, as Deshaun Jackson shall return for the playoffs. No joke here. He might actually provide significant help for Carson Wentz, who even in a tough season has 19 red zone touchdowns and 0 picks this year. That means Wentz has as many red zone touchdowns as Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield have regular touchdowns. And finally, the Chiefs, they kicked the shit out of the Bears. What's my greatest fear? That I will never make it out of this basement, and in 10 years I still won't have enough subscribers on YouTube to convince one sports media organization to significantly overpay me for opinions worse than Stephen A. Kellerman-Bayless? No, it's that the Chiefs and Patriots, after mid-season slumps, are both gaining steam at the worst possible time, and I will be forced to choose between two evils again in the AFC Championship game. The Patriots learned to run the ball again, and the Chiefs are playing fucking defense? Fuck you, Santa Claus, and your love for Andy Reid. KC hasn't allowed more than 17 points in their last 5 games. Now, given they've played all of the AFC West, the Patriots, and the Bears. But still, that could be the difference for them this postseason. This Chiefs-Bears affair was a very boring affair that got hijacked by Chris Collinsworth, who wouldn't stop talking about the fact that the Bears took Mitch Trubisky over Pat Mahomes, and then went on to say that Allen Robinson would be the 3rd wide receiver on the Chiefs. Fame has definitely got to him, or possibly CTE. Patrick Mahomes counts to 10 here to show how many times he won't beat the Patriots in the playoffs. Or is it to show how many restraining orders he has against Chris Collinsworth? Sorry, Pat. You'll need another finger to count how many more touchdown passes Lamar Jackson has than you. Also, the number of years I will spend hating how good you are. And that's it. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, @BrandonPerna. If you want to talk shit to me there, do it. I don't care. Also, make sure you follow @WillKey6 on Twitter. He helps me write these football episodes, and I would not have been able to get through all of this weekend without Will and TJ.